What's good, y'all? It's your boy Bio Spider 3.0, keeping the action going with the SH Figuarts Dragon Ranger. How's it going, guys? Man, I'm excited for this review. So before I get into it, I guess I'll mention that I did end up picking up 2 copies of this. Actually, by accident this time. It wasn't on purpose. Like the Dark Ray figure that I got, I ended up getting 2 copies on purpose for that one. But this one, I accidentally picked up a second copy and I didn't mean to. I'll explain about that in another video because I don't want this review to go on too long. But yeah, I'm just going to show you the other package real quick. So hold on one sec. Let's see here. So I'm going to slide this one aside for just a second. Here's the other one, right? Exact same figure, exact same packaging. Only difference is the bottom of this one says, let's see, you can see right there, it says Okini Land. Remember that name, okay? I'm gonna bring that up in like one of my next videos. So remember Okini Land, all right? But yeah, so I just wanted to put that out there. I did end up picking up 2 of these guys by accident, so I'll explain that whole situation in one of my following videos. But today we are here to review the Dragon Ranger, aka the Green Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, of course. Our boy Tommy, the biggest, baddest evil ranger, first evil ranger out there with the most, original badass design. The Green Ranger, man, you just can't beat it. So yeah, here we got to look at the packaging. Really cool, side art or front of the box art, I should say, of him playing the dragon dagger like a flute. Yeah, it says Dragon Ranger because that's what he's called in the Japanese Sentai. The Sentai itself is called Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger. So yeah, or I guess you can see it in the camera. Yeah, it says that at the top of the box right there in gold letters. I really like the packaging, by the way. Like the whole aesthetic of it looks great. I love the green and the gold aesthetic. It's perfect. Obviously, it matches the Green Ranger. But yeah, so yeah, Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger right there at the top. Dragon Ranger again on the side. At the bottom of there, we have Bandai, Tamashii Nations, of course. Let's see, what does this blue circle say? It says approved by TOEI Company Ltd. I'm not too sure what that is. I thought that was the symbol for the Bluefin, which is like the American distributor of SH Figuarts, or at least they used to be. Maybe this is them, just in the Japanese form, I'm not sure. But yeah, and then you got, in Japanese, the Sentai name right there, some more characters at the bottom. And then on the side, you've got SH Figuarts, Dragon Ranger again, another picture of the Green Ranger figure, which looks dope. Back of the box is very similar to the Go Ranger packaging. So if you saw my review on the 2 Go Rangers from SH Figuarts, this is very similar to that. It says the same thing, like simple style and heroic action. And it gives you the statement about SH Figuarts again. It says SH Figuarts is a new standard figure series that incorporates the Bandai action figure art under the theme pursuing character expression through humanoid action. So yeah, again, that's like basically what SH Figuarts is all about. So yeah, they got some nice product shots of the figure, hidden different poses. It says movable, molding, and option parts. So you've got different parts and accessories that you can obviously swap him out with. So all that looks great. Other side of the box, we have again Dragon Ranger down there on the side, has like a little banner, and then another picture of the figure. And some cool gold stripes going right there on the side of the box. I like how that looks. So yeah, not too much more. All that stuff on the bottom, barcode, legalese, all that good stuff. Some Japanese, stuff. So let's crack it open and get straight to it, man. Now I'm very excited. I decided to pick up this particular SH Figuarts version of the Green Ranger because I've seen that Hasbro finally gave us the remastered version of the Lightning Collection figures for Mighty Morphin. And I gotta say, a lot of them look really, really great. We finally got the Green Ranger that we deserved from Hasbro. The only problem is that, and it's kind of like a major problem, is that they decided to give us the Green Ranger without the freaking Dragon Shield. Like, what's up with that, man? Who gives the Green Ranger in a figure form without the freaking Dragon Shield? Like, that is just beyond me, man. It makes absolutely no sense. The only way to get the gold shield, unfortunately, is to purchase the remastered Red Ranger. Because for some reason they decided to give him the Dragon Shield. and so you have to, you know, take it off of him and then place it onto the Green Ranger figure. And that to me is just so bogus. That's such like a Hasbro thing to do, man. I'm like, wow. I'm just like so over Hasbro at this point, man. Like the type of stuff that they pull is ridiculous, but you know, it's kind of expected at this point. But yeah, as far as this Green Ranger, the SH Figuarts release, there are actually 3 different releases as far as I know. There is this one, right, which is the Dragon Ranger, of course, the Japanese, you know, Japanese version, Japanese Sentai release. And then there's another release that is called the exact same figure, but it comes with a few less parts that this one does, a few less accessories, and it says Green Ranger on it because it's, you know, the American release. So obviously, you know, it's based on Tommy, so it has like a few less parts. But it's the exact same figure pretty much. It just comes with like a little bit less. And then there's another release. It's the SDCC exclusive, and I almost ended up picking up that release. I saw one on Mercari, and I think it's still on there actually. I'll try to link it into the description, so maybe one of you guys watching can maybe grab it if you're willing to pay that price. But I did see one on Mercari while I was at work one day. I was, you know, searching for a Green Ranger, and I saw that SDCC exclusive. I started watching reviews of it on YouTube, and it looks good. They give you a Tommy head sculpt, like, to switch out. The only thing is that head sculpt is not good in my opinion. Like, the Hasbro one is honestly like a lot better now that we have, you know, the whole face printing technology and all that. It looks so much better than the SH Figuarts one in my opinion. Like that, their Tommy head sculpt is pretty rough if I'm being honest. So, you know, that's just my opinion, but I did not like the head sculpt enough to get that particular SDCC release. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. But as far as I know, those are the only 3 different types of releases. So yeah. So anyways, let's get the Green Ranger, or Dragon Ranger I should say, out of his packaging. And man, he looks awesome. And he feels great. Definitely has that SH Figuarts quality feel that I expect. So very, very nice. So here he is out of the packaging. Looking dope. Let's see if I can get him to stand here. Get him in a nice standing position for us. Let's see. Make sure he's well balanced. Okay, there we go. See if I can get him in the frame here. Oh man. Okay, hold up. I might need to bend his knees a little bit. Let's see here. Because he's kind of straight-legged right now. Can you stand for us, Mr. Dragon Ranger? Okay, there we go. How about that? Okay, there we go. So there is our Dragon Ranger out of the packaging, looking absolutely awesome. I'm already loving the paint and details on him, but as always, we'll get into all of that in just a minute. I'm going to slide him aside for just a sec, and we will get into accessories, of course. So we have, let's see, we have 8 pairs of alternate hands. Obviously, on the packaging, he comes with 2 fist hands on him. So I'll put him back down over there. And so for our alternate hands, we get 2 Dragon Dagger, you know, flute playing hands, of course. So we can get him into that iconic pose where he's summoning the Dragon Zord, which is awesome. So he's got these. These are the ones he's going to kind of hold like towards the front, like closer to the blade. Like he's, you know, playing the notes. So you got that as one of the alternate hands. Very nicely detailed. The white paint sculpting for this like kind of, you know, striped padding part on top just before the knuckles. That looks great. And then you've got this one that kind of follows behind it, of course, and looks just as good. White paint, all the sculpted detail in there, and he's gripping it, you know, at the back like by the handle, so that looks really good. So we've got those 2 to start. And then we have some more kind of some more like another variation of the flute playing hands, or maybe those first one, I think, was that first one the flute playing? I don't know, but we get we get some more like this. I'm like almost 100% sure this is actually one of the flute playing hands, for sure. This might be the one actually that he holds at the front, you know, close to the blade. But we get that one, and then we get another one. Or maybe they're both for playing the flute, honestly. But yeah, we get like different style pose hands for the flute. And again, he can grip. He's got this gripping hand kind of in the back behind it. So that's our second set, kind of similar to the first. And then we get these two kind of almost fist hands, but slightly open. So like the fingers curled in, slightly open, meeting the thumb there. We get two pairs of those. And then lastly, we get two kind of like almost like claw hands, like he's about to claw somebody. So kind of curling the fingers in, but not quite as close to the thumb. These are like the style pose hands. I think like kind of when he does that signature style pose, I can't really describe it, but he kind of like does this thing where he like, you know, he does this move where he kind of like has his hands like this. So I think, yeah, this is definitely what that's for, to kind of get him into that pose. But maybe if you guys watch, you know, Mighty Morphin or the Sentai, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, he comes with that. And then obviously he must come with his signature weapon, the Dragon Dagger. I think this is called the Zyoryu in the Sentai, which is really cool. I feel like the Japanese names are like always low-key cooler than the American. But I mean, both sound really cool. Dragon Dagger, Zyoryu, I mean, they both sound badass to me. So, but yeah, I mean, look at this thing, man. The amount of detail that they were able to get into this, absolutely phenomenal. As always, SH Figuarts kills it. When it comes to even like the smaller accessories, the detail is absolutely fantastic. Got the gold paint. You can see the dragon coin sculpted into there. All the gold paint for like the little, you know, workings of like the flute where he, like the keys where he would press on the dragon dagger. And then the gold going all the way down, the silver, the green, the black. Absolutely fantastic, especially for such a small scale. This is like a pretty small weapon. And the fact that they were able to get so much detail is just mind-blowing, man. It looks absolutely fantastic, very show accurate as far as I can tell. You know, the best that they could do at this scale. So very, very nice gold paint on the tip. So we got the Dragon Dagger. And we also get, of course, in case you want to make this like the evil ranger, or the evil version of the Green Ranger, right? We get the Sword of Darkness, or Hellfried in the Sentai, as it's called. And this thing looks amazing, man. It's very light, actually. I expected it to be a little heavier in weight, but it's actually really light. But the paint work is absolutely phenomenal, man. The silver paint, very metallic, very you know, realistic looking, like an actual blade. And then this translucent red gem in the middle there. Oh, that is so sick, man. That is such a nice touch. And it's actually kind of like, it really is translucent, so you can kind of like see behind it. Like, look at that. If I put my finger behind it, you can kind of see in there. Really, really cool. And then this gold part, you know, going around the handle here. We've got this. We've got like the red little tassel on the end. I've heard people say that like, oh, like maybe they could have done like an actual like tassel type of material for this part at the end. I don't think they necessarily needed to, especially at this scale. I would expect something like that more on like a larger scale figure, like maybe Mezco or something like that. Something that does like soft goods, or just like a bigger scale figure, maybe Hot Toys. But I think this plastic, you know, version of the tassel is all right. Maybe a little more detailed, and it could have been nice, like maybe a wash or something to make it look like, you know, it's got separate strings or whatever. But either way, I think the rest of the detail on this sword is absolutely fantastic. It looks really, really good. And then we also get, this being the Japanese release, we get two extra parts. So we actually have a belt here. This is one of the belts from the Sentai. It's got like, you know, American flag type of design. And this is actually based, I've heard, it's based on a particular episode that happened in, I think, Akiba Ranger, which I'm not sure if that's like a completely different series from you know, Zyuranger, or, you know, whatever the, you know, the original Sentai that the Dragon Ranger is from. But apparently in that episode of Akiba Ranger, it kind of like switches. You can see that, you know, the detail on this is obviously fantastic. You can see the what do you call it, the power coin sculpted into there, very good. In the center you can see the dragon coin, all that gold paint. I mean, fantastic. I mean, look at that. That looks absolutely amazing. But yeah, that Akiba Ranger episode, I guess like it kind of switches. So instead of the American, you know, Power Rangers being based off of, you know, the Japanese Sentai, I guess in that Akiba Ranger episode it kind of switches. So it's like it's like if the Sentai were based off the Americans. It's like if we were the first ones who came up with the Power Rangers, right? And then the Sentai was based off of us. That's kind of like what that whole episode, I guess, was about. And so, and I guess in that particular episode, he sported, the what do you call it? That red and white flag belt that I just showed. And then he also had a collar piece, a different neck piece, which I'm gonna get out right now. Ooh, if I can get out the packaging. Kind of tight fit. Pull it out. Come on out of there. There we go. He comes with this little alternate neck piece as well. So yeah, this is like a another piece, I guess, that he has in that Akiba Ranger episode, and I think that's pretty cool. It's a different like the whole synopsis of that particular episode being like, what if, it's kind of like a Marvel what if thing, like for them to switch the whole concept of usually American Power Rangers is based on Japanese Sentai, obviously, but they kind of switched the reversed the roles, and they were like, oh, what if the Sentai was based on the American shows? So I think that was a pretty cool little twist for their show. But yeah, so he comes with those. So those are some parts that you can switch out if you want. If you want him to represent that particular episode or ideal. But yeah, I think that's really cool. So yeah, that's all the accessories that we get. So now let's pull in the famous Green Ranger or Dragon Ranger, if we're talking about Sentai. All right. So, man, he looks fantastic. I mean, this is, the reason I decided to pick up the SH Figuarts version of this guy is because, again, the Hasbro, releases. I mean, the first release, it was all right, but it had those common issues that a lot of the first Lightning Collection figures had. It suffered from, like, the squished helmet look. Like, Hasbro, for some reason, made their helmets very kind of, like, squished. And so when they made the remastered version, I mean, you could clearly see the difference, like how much better they looked. But the only thing that bugged me about this new remastered version of the Green Ranger is that, again, he doesn't come with the freaking dragon shield. I'm like, how do you... Bro, it's the Green Ranger, bro. Like, that's literally part of what, like, defines his whole suit and his power. Like, he's got the dragon shield. Like, that's a given. So the fact that they decided to not, give us that is absolutely ridiculous to me. But that aside, I'm not going to rant on Hasbro. This is a review of SH Figuarts, right? So anyways, let's get into play and display for this badass figure, right? And then we'll get into size comparisons. I'll put some of the weapons in his hand, try to get him into some style poses before we head out. So starting with the head, we are on a SH Figuarts ball joint. So we get a lot of that really good swivel motion, just like the Go Riders. We can look down very, very far, like tuck his chin all the way to the shield there. That looks great. Looking up, we can lift the head back about that far, which is pretty good. I mean, I think it could be a little bit better, but it does look up pretty decently there. And then, of course, we can rotate all the way around 360 on that ball peg. It gets a little tight as we go towards the back there. Ooh. It's kind of squeaking. I don't really like that sound. I wasn't expecting it to squeak like that, but I guess that means at least the joint is tight, right? So we do get that. Oh man, it's kind of squeaky now. Maybe I should bring it back. Oh, did that turn? I think it turned the neck. Hold on one sec. I think that's actually why it's squeaking. I think I might have turned the neck a little bit when I did that. Okay, yeah, let me see if I can realign the neck real quick. I'm gonna pop the head off very quickly here. So just in case you wanted to see what the neck looked like, by the way, yeah, let me get this thing to turn back around. Let's see, is that? Yeah, it should definitely be. Okay, there we go. So in case you wanted to see what the neck looked like without the head on it, you can clearly see like that's where his Adam's apple would be. It's got a nice sculpt right there, so you can you never mistake, where his, which way his neck should be facing. But yeah, that is like the inside. So you've got like the little space for the ball peg. And then for the helmet, let's take a close look at the helmet, a nice up close look so we can get this out of the way. This helmet sculpt is absolutely fantastic. I mean, very show accurate as you would expect. And for such a small scale, I'm really impressed with the amount of detail and just cleanliness that they were able to get into this helmet. I mean, this looks just like a, shrunken down replica of what was in the show. And I think it looks absolutely fantastic. So like the silver paint, the white, where the teeth would be, and then the eyes, that little red gem with the little bit of gold surrounding it, a little fin on top. I mean, even the part down here with like, where the mouth would be, like that is absolutely fantastic. And you can see there's like a little peg right there that pegs into the top of the neck. So very, very cool. Let's go ahead and plug that back in so we don't have a headless Ranger on our hands. All right, so there he is back into place, pops in easy as pie, right? So here we go. For the arm articulation, we can raise the arm about that high up. And, oh, my music, hold on one sec, guys. My theme stopped here. Gotta get the music going back, man. It's the Green Ranger. Gotta get it back up. But while that loads back up, I'll continue the articulation. So, yeah, right here you can see he's able to get his arm about that high. Let's see here. That high before it does run into the shield. The shield is made of a hard plastic, as you would probably expect. So he's only able to get it to about like a 90 degrees, but that's not bad. I expect that from this type of figure. Back down by his sides. And then it's got, seems like he's got like a ball joint. And kind of like that little, kind of like those little flap things that the SH Figuarts had. I mean, SH Figuarts, the Zyurangers had. Obviously, SH Figuarts. The Zyurangers had like that little flap piece that kind of like moves out of the way. So it allows for some good range, rotation in that ball joint for the shoulder. And then a butterfly joint to kind of bring it forward pretty well, decently well. About that far. Gets them back only about that far. It's really the shield that's restricting most of the movement. So I mean, there's not too much you can do about that. It's a hard sculpt for the shield. So that's what you would expect. No bicep swivel again, kind of like the Zyurangers, but it does swivel a little bit on that that inside joint. So that's really cool. You can still like twist the arm, which I think is really good. Oh, give me one second, guys. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. Sorry, had to fix that. All right, and then yeah, so that's pretty much the range. And then for the elbows, we get a double jointed elbow that gets plenty of bend. Look at that. That's plenty of bend, well past 90, right? We can extend back out, and obviously the hands are on a ball joint that rotate all the way around. And then can also hinge kind of like up and down and to the side, like in and out and a little bit of up and down. Your typical Figuarts wrist, you just kind of got to get it into the position that you want. So that's really good there. For the torso, we have like an upper diaphragm cut. So let's see. Is he able to twist? Yeah, he is able to kind of twist from just that top joint. It is kind of tight, so be careful. You definitely don't want to like snap it or break it. And you can kind of feel like a little bit of resistance when you do that, but you can twist it from just that top joint. So you get a little twist, and then you also get a little bit of leaning to each side at that top ball joint, so that's good. And then you can crunch him forward using just that top joint. You get about that much crunch out of him, going forward, going backwards. About that much, which is all right, not too much, but about what I would expect. And then obviously if you combine like the hips, like the lower part of him, he's able to, oh, the leg popped off. Hold up. Let me pop that leg back in. Pop that leg in. Okay, there we go. So yeah, if you use that bottom hip joint, you can get him going forward a little more, about like that much. And then as far as going back, he would be able to get about that much. He's a lot more flexible if you kind of get him like that. And it does get a little gappy in here, but that's not too bad. And the belt hides most of that gappiness, so that's good. And let's bring him back to a neutral position. Let's see the legs. The legs are on drop downs, as you probably saw. So you can drop the legs down a little bit from the hip there, and then back up. And you can this little holster for his dragon dagger is on a peg, so you can kind of move it out of the way. You can swing it like that, and so you can drop his leg down, and then out to the side, he's able to get pretty much a perfect split. So that looks really good. Back down, you can push that back up. For the knees, we've got double jointed knees that allow him to bend all the way back, pretty much to his lower back. And I know a lot of the reviewers have said that his knee cut is pretty ugly on this release. Yeah, I would definitely say it's not one of SH Figuarts' best designs for like a knee cut, because this part definitely, like the sides of the knee definitely stick out a lot, and then you have like such a deep cut right there. You know, it's kind of like concave, and then the knee like goes back so far. So from certain angles, it looks kind of ugly, but I mean, I don't really mind that. I mean, I'm not going to be looking at his knees most of the time, right? I'm going to be admiring, like, just how badass, like, his suit looks, right? Especially when I've got him in, you know, different action poses. So I'm not really going to be looking at his knees, so it doesn't bother me much. No boot swivel or anything like that, but we do get a hinge in the feet. So let's see, the toes, or excuse me, the feet can go down that far, pretty much all the way to his tippy toes. He can hinge up about that far before it kind of runs into the sculpt. So not a whole lot of range going up there. It does run into, like, you know, his shin right there before you get a lot of range going up. But he does have a toe hinge too, so he's able to get his feet going up, or yeah, his toes that far, and then back to a neutral position like that. So there you go. As far as kicking forward, he can kick up about that far. So pretty much a little better than a 90 degrees, so you can get a pretty good high kick in there, and that's without dropping the leg down. If you drop it down, you can probably get a little more. And if we swing it back, he only gets about that much because, again, you know, a hard sculpt for the butt cheeks in the back, right? But not too bad. And if you pull it down, you might be able to get a little bit more than that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all of his range. You know, combining, you know, both of those torso joints, you can get a lot of swivel and rotation out of him from the top, so that's good. So he is pretty flexible from the torso. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all of his articulation. So yeah, dope figure, just like I expected, man. I'd say the overall articulation is pretty good, about what I expected from a SH Figuarts figure. Obviously, you're not going to get like super dynamic poses, like as far as like raising his arms, you know, over his head or things like that. Probably won't work, or even getting his arms to really come in and like cross like in front of him. Probably not going to happen, just because, you know, the shield is so you know, it's like a hard, tough plastic. But honestly, I don't mind. Like, I would sacrifice a little bit of the articulation here for such a good sculpt and design. I mean, the paintwork on this guy, absolutely immaculate. I love the metallic sheen of the gold for the dragon shield, as well as the bands on his arms. Those look really good. And you've got some of that even down here by the top of the boots, you know, the boot cuffs. And then, I mean, even in his freaking belt, man, just look at that. Where the morpher's at, like the coin for the, you know, the dragon coin. That looks absolutely fantastic if I can get some focus on it. Yeah, I mean, like, they got like the dragon coin in there, sculpted all nice, the red around it, black, gold, everything looks really good. The only thing that I kind of noticed, and I'm not sure, I'll have to go back and watch the show, but I do believe, I've seen images online, and I'll have to see if they did this on the remastered Green Ranger from Hasbro, but they do have like the lines kind of sculpted in his belt. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there are like some subtle lines sculpted in his belt at the top and bottom. I think those are supposed to be filled in black, but I don't know, maybe they just couldn't do it on this release, or maybe it was just too small of a line for them to get cleanly, but I feel like they could have pulled it off. So that's just one minor detail that I wanted to point out. They might, I'm not sure if that's show accurate, so maybe that's not a missed detail. I have to go back and check. People have said that he has like a butt plug right here, and that they don't know why. Like, that is kind of odd. But I guess, I don't know, I guess the other Power Rangers figures don't have this like circle on the bottom of their butt, but he does for some reason, so that's just something to note. But yeah, here's a nice look at him from the back. Yeah, and as far as I can tell, the diamond pattern, like the white diamond pattern under his shield, is actually like all the way painted in there. So they sculpted the shield on top. So that's a really nice attention to detail right there, that they actually put all the diamonds underneath there. And you can, I guess, theoretically take this shield off, but you probably wouldn't want to. It's not. I don't think it's really meant to come off for this particular release. I said that weird off, but yeah, I don't think it's meant to come off. But there is a Red Ranger release. So like if you wanted to put the Dragon Shield on the Red Ranger from the SH Figuarts line, you would probably you probably have to get that particular version. There's like two releases of, well, I guess three now that I think about it. There's the standard release of the red, kind of like this guy, the standard release of the Red Ranger, and then you have the version with that comes with the Dragon Shield on him, and I think he comes with the Dragon Dagger too. Don't quote me on that, but I think he does, and like the Power Sword. And then there's the SDCC exclusive. He actually has his own SDCC exclusive release, kind of like the Green Ranger. And he comes with a unhelmeted head as well. He has the Jason head. So, and I would say the Jason head, as far as the likeness, looks a lot better than the Tommy one did. I think the Jason one actually came out like decent. Yeah, I mean it still looks a little animated, but I think it overall has a better likeness to Austin St. John than the Tommy head sculpt did. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there so you guys can check out those releases. But yeah, man. Amazing figure. I mean, I love it overall. I mean, excellent sculpt, very show accurate. We get all the weapons and things. So I'm going to go ahead and put his Dragon Dagger into the holster just to show you that it fits, because it can go into the holster there. So here it is. Here's his Dragon Dagger in the holster on the side. It's got a really nice snug fit in there, so that looks really cool from the front. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put the Sword of Darkness in his hand. So I'm gonna switch out one of his hands. I really want to get him into the flute pose, but I know that's gonna take some time. I would have to do that off camera, so don't worry. I'll definitely, for the thumbnail, I'll definitely have him in that flute pose, that iconic pose, but I'm not gonna do it in this review because I know it's gonna take a minute for me to land it. But let's see, as far as the Sword of Darkness, trying to see what's the best hands to maybe get him to hold it. Let's see, let me try this one. Let's see if I can get it to pop in there. It's a little tough. Come on now. Only thing with SH Figuarts that I struggle with sometimes is popping the hands on because they're so small, and I've got such big hands and I feel like I'm gonna break it sometimes. I just can't seem to get this hand on him. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, so I got that hand on. Let's see if I can get the Sword of Darkness into here. Okay, there we go. That worked out really nice. Just slip it down a little more and voila, there you go. So here he is holding the Sword of Darkness, and that looks damn good, dude. Oh man. So let me try to get him into a nice cool dynamic pose before we sign out. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to mention about him is that I know on camera especially it might look that he has like a lot of blue in his green. In person, I would say he definitely looks more green than he does on camera right now. Like on camera, it kind of looks like there's a lot of blue in him. He looks more like a like turquoise or something. But as far as like the figure in person, I would say he's a lot more green. I'd say it's like it looks a lot more show accurate. Like, it doesn't look too blue to me in person. So it just kind of depends, I guess, on like how much light you have on him, the type of lighting that you have. But I would say overall, like the paint job is pretty accurate to what we saw on the show, because he definitely had like a darker type of green. Like it wasn't like the brighter greens didn't really show up, I think, for like the other like Green Rangers until like later. I mean, he was probably like the darkest green, I would say, that we had, and then like as the Power Rangers seasons went on, the green progressively got like lighter most of the time. So I would say he definitely has like the darkest shade of green, but yeah, I just wanted to point that out. He definitely looks more green than he might on camera right now, just so you know that. But let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, let me see if I can get him into a nice, kind of intimidating pose with the Sword of Darkness. Like he's about to whoop all the other Rangers. I mean, this man is a GOAT, man. This dude literally cleared a whole Zord in one jump, right? And then he like squad wiped pretty much all the Rangers. I mean, Jason was like the only one that was powerful enough to stop him. And like, man, and that's because, you know, the power sword really helped him out. If he didn't have the power sword, Jason probably would have been screwed, bro, because Green Ranger was like another level of powerful and just straight disrespectful, man. I mean, he straight up wiped out those Rangers like nothing, man. And I was watching a clip recently, like he literally he like pimp slapped the Pink Ranger in the face, bro. That, oh man, that had me laughing, bro. I don't think I ever like really paid attention to that before, but he like literally like slapped the the freaking Pink Ranger in the face and like made her flip. I was like, damn, dude, the disrespect. Not even knowing that that's finna be his future girl, man. That was funny as hell. Kimberly really took one for the team right there. But yeah, here he is holding the Sword of Darkness. I just got him in a quick pose, and yeah, that only took me like a few seconds, man. So. I mean, very, very cool. You can see he holds his balance pretty well once you get him into a standing pose. And that looks awesome, man. Holding that Sword of Darkness, hell free. Oh, man, that's sick. I mean, I love it. So, you know, that's one of the things I love about SH Figuarts is they do balance pretty well once you get them into a good position. And they feel really great, you know, premium feel, very mechanical. And they're just, yeah, they look great. So I'm going to, for the end here, I'm going to go ahead and actually switch out the Sword of Darkness and put in the Dragon Dagger because I want the, you know, good version of Tommy to be represented at the end of this review. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into size comparisons. And I've got him holding his Dragon Dagger now. I've switched out the Hellfried. Alright, and so there you have it. There is Mr. Green Ranger or Dragon Ranger holding his Dragon Dagger or Zyoryu, which is very nicely detailed, by the way. Alright, so let me hurry up and do these size comparisons. We're almost 40 minutes in. But you guys know me at this point, man. I like to be thorough in my reviews, so they do go a bit longer than the typical reviewer, but, you know, that's just me. That's your boy Bio, alright? So let's go ahead and get him first up. With some fellow SH Figuarts, we have the Go Riders. I'll back him up just a bit here. So here he is with Hunter or Kabuto Rider, and then we have Blake or Kawaga Rider on the other side. Alright, and as you can see, they scale very, very well. They're all pretty much exactly the same height. Very similar type of builds, as you can see. And they look absolutely fantastic standing next to one another. So that is awesome. I think that looks really good. Yeah, I mean, from this angle, it might look like each of them are a little bit taller than Tommy, but they're all very close in height. Actually, yeah, Tommy might be like a slightly shorter than each of them, but I mean, sometimes that goes with like the legs and stuff, how much the legs are dropped down. It might give them a little more height, but they're basically the same height. So there you go. Move those out the way. That's our SH Figuarts comparison. For some Marvel Legends, here we have the Amazing Spider-Man from the No Way Home 3-pack. And as you can see, he has definitely got some height over him, about a head taller there. So yeah, probably wouldn't they wouldn't scale to. I mean, in person, the camera definitely makes him look a lot taller, I would say, than Spider-Man. Like, it looks like he's like looming over him. In person, it doesn't look too bad, I would say. I would say he's like literally about a head taller. So if you wanted to make that work, I guess you could. For a Dino Thunder comparison, you know, we got to do it. Two evil Rangers next to each other, side by side. Here is the White Ranger from Dino Thunder. So here we have Trent with the Green Ranger. So two Rangers that started out evil and turned good. Very badass designs from both. So I had to see them side by side, but there you go. That's your comparison. And you can see he's not too much taller than the Green Ranger there. I think you can make that work. even though Trent should be shorter than Tommy, but you know, just gotta fudge it. For a Mayfex comparison, here he is with the in-game Mayfex Thor. One of my absolute favorite figures in the collection so far. And here he is, trying to get his whole body in there. He's got all his weapons, but there you go. You can see he's actually not too much taller than Tommy. I think they actually scale pretty good. I think that's all right. So yeah, there you go. Put him aside. Who else we got? Let's get Raven. We've got the McFarlane Toys Raven for our McFarlane comparison. It's time for her to get some shine in the size comparisons. And you can see she's, yeah, about a head taller than Tommy, about the same height as the Amazing Spider-Man was, so definitely a bigger figure. This is McFarlane Toys. And let's see, let's get him next to He Who Remains from Disney Plus, Hasbro. Very similar in height. He's just a little bit taller than the Green or Dragon Ranger. So there you go, not too bad. I think you can definitely make that work. Let's get him next to... We'll get him next to Lunar Wolf on this side and Battle Damaged Spider-Man from Toy Biz on this side. Slide the camera over just a bit here, bring it back, and you can see, yeah, each of them aren't too much taller than Tommy there. I think you can make it work. So yeah, that's about it, man. I don't want this to drag on too long. Last but not least, I'll put him with in-game Thanos from ZD Toys and the Spawn McFarlane Toys Mandarin Spawn on this side. And hopefully you can see, for some bigger characters, they are obviously looming over him from two different companies. So yeah, I think that looks actually pretty good scale wise. So yeah, that's my review, y'all. I hope you enjoyed it, man. I am loving this figure. I can't wait to play around with them, pose them up next to my other figures. So he looks absolutely fantastic, just like you would expect. Poses pretty well for the most part. I mean, pretty much the only restrictions as far as like articulation goes is, I would say, like the arms, you know, the dragon shield and stuff, you know, things that you would expect. So it's nothing too major that would, like, you know, set this figure back, I would say. And he looks pretty good. I mean, front to back, very nicely done. The green spikes and everything into his boots. All the paint is pretty much exactly where it should be. Like, it's very clean. I don't see any bleeding or anything. You know, as we should. I mean, this is a high-end premium figure, so it should be very clean. And yeah, it's got that great SH Figuarts feel. Very premium, stands well. It comes with pretty much every accessory you need. Like I said, the only thing that would make this probably better is like a Tommy head sculpt, but the one they gave in the SDCC exclusive just wasn't doing it for me. Yeah, it just wasn't too solid as far as the likeness, I would say, for Tommy, so I kind of passed on that one. But I am very happy with this release, and actually, like I said, I have two now. But I am gonna I'm not gonna keep the second one. I am gonna end up giving that away, but I just wanted to show you guys that Okini land on the bottom of it, because I am going to bring that up in another video. So be tuned, you know, be sure to be on the lookout for that. But yeah, that's my review, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Sorry to drag it, but I mean, at this point, y'all already know what it is. You know how long my reviews tend to go. So thank you very much for watching, especially if you made it to the end of the video. Thank you to you know, everybody that subscribed. I got a lot of stuff coming to the channel, so stay tuned for all that. This has been your boy BioSpider 3.0, and I'll see you in the next review. Peace out. Dragon Zord.